It's one of just 3 unicorns in Africa. Now, e-commerce firm Jumia launched its IPO this week on the New York Stock Exchange. And the shares, they surged more than 70% on its first day of trading. Now, I caught up with the co-founders and co-CEOs, Sacha, Poignonnec and Jeremy Hodara, and asked, well, why this international company, based in Berlin, serving Africa with French founders, decided to list in New York?
Our business is a marketplace, and here in New York already a lot of marketplaces are listed and investors are very used to seeing those businesses, and for us it was a natural place where the investors understand the business of Jumia.
The investors understand the business. What about from building the brand perspective? Does it help being in New York in any way?
Our consumers are in Africa, our sellers are in Africa, our partners are there, and for them having one of their daily brand, which is Jumia, that they use every day, being listed in New York as a first tech company is a big deal. And it's very important for all our ecosystem and all our partners that Jumia actually made it here in New York, and that's something that matters a lot.
I'm interested in the fact that you are growing quickly in terms of revenue, but still lacking in profit. How much is that a focus for you? How quickly can you become profitable? And it may eventually be an issue for the investor base.
We are growing fast and we have a very healthy business model, and I think this is why a lot of investors have trusted Jumia over the years and today with the public market, because they see the potential, they see the growth, they see the execution, they see the value that we create for both the sellers and consumers, and they understand that the business model is very healthy.
Have you got an aim as when you might become profitable?
We don't give any forecast, but we continue to always grow while becoming more profitable every day, and that's what we are building every day with our teams.
Paint the picture, Sacha, of the growth focus now of Jumia. Is it about new regions? Is it about focusing more on the payment side of the business? Where will this money that you've just raised go to?
So certainly, if you look at our markets, there are 700 million people in our 14 countries, and last year 4 million consumers transacted with Jumia. So we have a lot of consumers who are yet to discover the benefit of e-commerce in our market, and we're going to focus on that. And we're going to focus on continuing to build the business, create value for the users, so that when they come to Jumia, they see very good choice, very nice selection, and very good prices, and they will continue to adopt the e-commerce. And of course, payment is obviously for us a great avenue of growth. And we have launched Jumia Pay in a couple markets, and that is working very well. We're going to continue to put focus and resources on this very exciting opportunity for us.
Jeremy, you're talking about why you've chosen New York is because the investor base knows marketplaces. That means they know your competitors. Who are your competitors? Is it Amazon? Is it Alibaba? Are there more local rivals? Where do you see the ecosystem going?
We are the only Pan-African player doing e-commerce in Africa. So we really are here, across our 14 countries to build it, and there is no one really competing with us, at the Pan-African level.
What would you say if Amazon came to want to buy you out? Would you be sold?
We'll see if that day happens. Certainly, we're focusing on building value for the consumers and the sellers. That's what we do. Every day we work hard to bring value to the sellers and the consumers, provide a platform for the seller to do a great business, reach new consumers, provide opportunities for the consumers to save time and save money. The rest, nobody can predict what will happen in this world, but we're certainly focused on just executing our business, creating value, and whatever happens will happen.
One of your first backers was Rocket Internet, well-known venture backing in Germany. One of the criticisms leveled at Rocket Internet again and again is that they steal other people's business models and they take them to new countries. Do you feel that you just took someone else's business model? How much do you think the risk was in going into a new region?
I mean, what we were doing was completely unique and new in Africa, which is to help people buy online, which is maybe something that we're used to in other regions of the world, but it was the very first time it was happening in Africa. So that was very new, and the way we have had to build it was also very particular and specific to Africa. There was no logistics, there was no payment. No one had ever done that before. So what matters is to build an e-commerce platform to connect the sellers and the consumers, and the way you do it, in every country is very subtle. There are very small differences everywhere, and that's what made it possible.
Talk to us about some of those intricacies. What are the biggest challenges that you've faced in Africa, and have you overcome it?
Africa, of course, presents some challenges. If you think about how do you work with the sellers, how do you do the logistics, how do you organize the delivery of the packages and the goods, how do you organize the payments? There are lots of areas of the business which you have to create a special African way to do it, and certainly logistics and payment is usually the one that people notice first, because we have about 50% of the business in the big cities and about 50% in the secondary cities and the rural areas, and we have created a very innovative logistic platform to make this happen, relying on hundreds of local partners, providing them the technology for them to operate their business across every city of Africa. So that is, for example, one of the biggest innovation we had to create to make this business possible.
So how would one get a delivery to a particularly rural area of Africa? Would you put a particular collection point? Paint the picture for our viewers.
So we have hundreds of logistics partners who work with our technology. And so what happens is that they know every region, every city, every neighborhood very well. So our mission is to help the sellers find the customers to buy products. And then we work with our partners all along the chain to get the products from the main warehouse down to the very last mile of the customer through the technology and the partners. And the way to do that is that consumers have two options. Either they will receive the product at their door, it's a door delivery, or we have a network of pickup stations that cover all our countries and that give to our consumers the ability, if they want to go and pick up their orders. And so every consumer has the two options, and what we do is we want every consumer to have the chance to get delivered wherever they live.
What about Jumia becoming more than just a marketplace? What about offering your own products? We see that within Amazon, Alibaba, for example.
First, the focus is to build a marketplace because we want to serve the sellers. We want the sellers to see Jumia as a platform for them to sell their products. Now, every now and then, we sometimes act as the seller whenever we feel that this is necessary, but we are primarily built as a marketplace. Our DNA is to build a service for the sellers to provide it to the consumers. We are really primarily a marketplace.